Hello, Math 96. So today's October 15th. This is day 2 of section 2.5 recording. So if you have not listened to day 1 and done the top part of your notes on page 24 in your note-taking guide, please just exit out of this and go back to Google Classroom. Please do section 2.5 day 1 recording first, and then come back to this. So the essential question is, how can we calculate the equation of a line if we're given 2 points? So here's our goal for today. Our goal is to write an equation of a line in y equals mx plus b form, which is called slope-intercept form. So that's our goal today. Our goal is to write an equation of a line. You have homework tonight. It's out of the textbook. And please make sure all prior work is complete. Remember to email me if you have late work that I need to go back and grade for you. And the homework slide appears at the very end of this recording, so make sure you listen all the way through. Okay, so at the end of this, you can say that you can use the point slope formula with 2 points to write the equation of a line. Here we go. So yesterday, I had you fill this all in. This is called the point slope formula. This is what is used to write an equation of a line. And it's really easy. You just need to fill in numbers. You put a number in for m for the slope, and then you put a number in this spot, x1, and you put a number in this spot, y1, and that comes from the point that we give you. Okay? And then some of the examples that we're going to do, you are going to have to calculate the slope. So we will be using this formula as well. So there will be an extra step, okay, in order to get this m number that's up at top here in the point slope formula. And like I said, if you did not do yesterday's recording for section 2.5 day 1, please go back and do that first before this. Okay, so here we go. So here's the point slope formula. And like I said, we need to fill in numbers. So we're going to put a number inside for m, inside for x sub 1, and inside for y sub 1. Everything else stays. So let me grab my pen here. So this y stays, this minus stays, this equals the parenthesis, the x minus, and the other parenthesis. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a number in this spot, and this spot. Okay, well, what numbers do we put in there? Let me just change colors here. So the directions say write the equation of a line. So our goal is to get y equals mx plus b. Well, here's the m number. So write an m right here. We're going to put the number 3. That's it. And then we have a point, and we can call it x set 1 and y set 1, right? x1, y1. So that's where we're going to put these numbers. So be careful. The y comes first. It'll be a -7. And the x sub 1 is in the back here. Okay? So you just have to remember where to put the numbers in. I'm trying to grab my pen here. Okay. So then you just have to look at the problem. All right? So you need to check. If you have a minus next to a minus, then you need to change it to a positive. So right here, we have a minus next to a minus, so this needs to change to y plus 7. That was a rule from middle school many years ago. Minus, minus, changed to plus, plus, is what your middle school teacher probably told you. And you have to do that before you do anything else in the problem. Okay, so this is an important step. Before you do anything else, you need to check at this step, once you plug them in, that you change it to a plus, plus. And then I'm just going to bring down the rest. Okay. Okay, after that, if you just look at the green line, well, what's left? If our goal is to be y equals mx plus b, I better get these together. So we're going to distribute here. And remember, in chapter 1, we talked about distributing. So I'm going to bring down y plus 7. This would be 3x minus 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Oops, sorry. And we're now very close. So the last thing we do is we get y alone. So you just need to pop the 7 over to the other side. So we're going to subtract 7. This will go away. Y will be equal to 3x. And how much is negative 12 and negative 7 more? It's negative 19. And you just wrote yourself an equation of a line. So we just did this step. Whoops. Right down here at the bottom. We plugged in values for m, y1, and x1 into the point slope formula. We did a little bit of math and we got an equation of a line. Okay, don't forget right up here though, this minus has to change to plus plus. All right, it's an important step right there. All right, moving on. So we're going to write an equation of a line again, but this time we're given 2 points. So where is this number? So there's an extra step. So it says in your steps in your notes, if m is not given, find m using the formula. And we find m using our point slope formula. So I'm just going to write the points over on the side. Looks like 5, 1 and 7, 13. So when we used that formula in the last lesson, we labeled these xy, xy, set 1, set 2. And then we just plugged that into this formula and did our calculations. So we need to find m so we can put it in right here into our new formula for point slope form. Okay? So that would be 13 minus 1 over 7 minus 5. So 13 minus 1 is 12. 7 minus 5 is 2. So our m that we're going to use is 6 because it's 12 divided by 2. Okay, the next step in your notes says choose one of the points to use if you're given 2 points, and it doesn't matter which one. So we oops, that didn't work. Sorry about that. Hold on just a minute. A little too dark there. Okay, so we just found m. We're going to plug this number in for m, right? So now we need to plug in an x and a y. So we're given those in the problem right here. And I just labeled them right here as well, right? So 5, 1 and 7, 13. And we actually labeled these right up here. So most students just go ahead and choose to use this first point, and we're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to plug a number in here, here, and here. So the numbers we're going to plug in, we're going to use this little set right here. We're going to plug in a 1, we're going to plug in a 6, and we're going to plug in a 5. And then we're just going to use that formula and we'll get an equation of a line. So y minus 1 is equal to 6 parenthesis x minus 5. And we got all that information from the beginning part of the problem up here and from using our slope formula. Okay, so the next step is to do a little distributive property. So if you could do that, please. Distribute. So y minus 1 is equal to 6x minus 30 because a positive times a negative, and 6 times 5 is 30. Be careful. The only real error that students ever have here is this back part of the distribute. Sometimes students will think 6 minus 5 is 1, so they'll write a 1 here. But remember, you're multiplying when you distribute, okay? Okay, so our goal is to write an equation that's in y equals mx plus b form. So we're almost there. So we're going to pop that 1 over. So we add 1, add 1. So your y will be equal to, remember this cancels, 6x minus 29. Because negative 30 plus 1 is negative 29. Okay, we met our goal. One more. Okay, so if you can get started on this one and hit pause on your video and try it on your own, I would appreciate it. And then you can come back to the video and check. So try this one, just hit pause and try it on your own. Get started with first finding the slope. Okay, you should hopefully have been done. So we should have labeled this xy set 1, xy set 2. So your slope would be negative 8 minus 2 over 1 minus 4. So be careful. Should be 1 minus 4. That's going to change. I'm just rewriting this. 1 minus 4 becomes 1 plus 4. So negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. 1 plus 4 is 5. So your m number should have been a negative 2. If you didn't get negative 2, right here, this subtract sign in the formula is not any part of that negative that came from your point up here, okay? So be careful. Remember what I said. This is the most common mistake. When you use this slope formula, always put the subtracts from the formula in and then plug in the numbers. That's how you won't miss this. Minus 4 becomes 1 plus 4. So putting these minus signs into the formula before you use it with the numbers is often very helpful for students. If you didn't get this right slope number of negative 2, then the whole problem is wrong. Okay, so remember, you're going to plug a number y1 here, m here, and x sub 1. So you already found the negative 2, and you can use the point from up here, okay? So, whoops, wrong one, Miss Arthofer. Just like to change colors every now and then. So y minus, what's the y sub 1 number? It's going to be a 2, coming from right here, top right. So we're going to plug in a 2. Equals, what's the m number you found? A negative 2. You found that right over here, right? Parenthesis x minus, what's the x sub 1 number? Negative 4. Now be careful. You have that minus changes to plus business that you have to change before you do anything else. So you always have to stop and check for that. So y minus 2 is equal to negative 2x minus minus becomes plus plus, or just plus. So plus 4. That's for, whoops, what happened there? Come here. Hold on, you guys. I don't want to come up. Come on. There we go. Okay, so the last part is to get it into this last form, is to go ahead and do a little distribute right here. So I'm going to bring this down. It's negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 4 in the back is negative 8. Pop that negative 2 over by add 2, add 2. So your final answer is y equals, because this cancels, negative 2x, and negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Okay, next slide. That's your homework. There's 4 problems. The first 2, you don't have to calculate m because they gave it to you. All right. So you're only going to use the point slope formula, which is this one. The second 2, you have to use both formulas. So you have to use your slope formula to find the m. Then you have to use this point slope formula to find the equation of the line. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.